Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette syndrome. In today's video, I am going to be doing the Tourette's tag. So I found a list of questions from another YouTuber who has Tourette's, and her name I believe is Jenny, and I'm taking her questions and applying them to this video, as well as adding a few other questions that I think you guys might want to hear the answers to. Before we start talking about the questions and the answers, I just want to reiterate that it is Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month, and my goal of this channel is to break the stigma surrounding Tourette syndrome. For those of you that don't know what Tourette syndrome is, it is a neurological disorder, so it affects the brain, and it causes individuals like me to make involuntary movements and sounds known as tics. This month, from May 15th all the way to June 15th, is basically dedicated to breaking the stigma and raising awareness surrounding Tourette syndrome, and I really want you guys to watch these videos and hopefully learn something, because I'm very passionate about this cause since I've lived with Tourette syndrome my whole life, and I would love for the stigma surrounding it to go away. Just a brief explanation of the stigma that is happening and has happened for years. The media and kind of bigger influential outlets have kind of made Tourette syndrome to be only a swearing disorder, and that's not what it is at all. I've talked about this in pretty much all of my videos, but coprolalia is the tic that causes involuntary swearing or like obscene words, and it happens in only 10 to 15% of people with Tourette syndrome, and I just really want everyone to know that, because Tourette's is so much more than just swearing. I'm lucky enough that I don't have coprolalia, but I want you guys to know that it is very rare and pretty much uncommon to swear with Tourette syndrome, considering it happens in only 10 to 15% of cases. And yeah, I'm gonna get into the questions now, but I just really wanted you guys to know that. Let's break the stigma together. Question number 1 in the Tourette's tag is, when did your Tourette syndrome start? And my tics started probably getting really bad when I was around 12 years old. Maybe 10, 11, 12, those were the years they started getting really bad. I would blink my eyes really hard, swallow really hard, make coughing noises, scrunch my nose. Basically, my tics started with my face and kind of my upper body. And my mom and dad recall me having tics as young as 3 years old, with me like kicking my legs and doing weird things when I was walking. So I don't really know when exactly they started, but I have had it my whole life, so there's that. Question number 2 is, when did I get diagnosed? And I got diagnosed with Tourette syndrome when I was 12 years old, and I've said this in previous videos, basically all my previous videos, so check those out. But I was diagnosed at 12, and my tics got really bad from about 12 to 15, 16, and I'm 22 years old now. The next question is, do you have motor tics, vocal tics, or both? And I have both, but I believe in order to be diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, you do have to have it both, so don't quote me on that, but I do have motor tics and vocal tics. The next question is, what is your most and least favorite thing about having Tourette's? My most favorite thing, I would say my most favorite thing about having Tourette syndrome is the fact that it has made me so much more sympathetic and empathetic towards other people. I really understand what people go through, or at least I really try to, because living with Tourette syndrome has caused me a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, and it has just overall made me a more understanding person regarding other disorders and mental health issues. So I would say my most favorite thing is just the fact that I've become a lot better of a person. Even though I hate having it, I don't recommend it, I think I've become a nicer person because of it, because I'm able to relate to others and I'm able to help raise awareness, and it makes me special in the worst way. Another really good thing about it is I have an Instagram account at Ticking Together, and I've met a lot of other really strong and amazing individuals who have Tourette syndrome, and it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things in this world, so I guess that's what's my most favorite thing. My least favorite thing is the fact that there is such a negative stigma surrounding it. I would say that, and the fact that it causes me a lot of pain to have tics. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the stigma surrounding Tourette syndrome has really affected me throughout my whole life because I've had a lot of people bully me throughout my life, indirectly and directly, about Tourette's being weird and how it's only a swearing disorder, how people with it are just really awful and stupid and all this stuff, and that is so not true. But as a younger girl, I really did believe it, and if there's one thing I really want to do, it is to break the stigma so that future generations of little girls and little boys like me, when they were looking up Tourette syndrome, don't see the negative stuff that I saw, because it really affected me negatively, and it broke my heart and made me hide my tics and Tourette's from everyone, which I do not recommend. And the fact that the tics are so painful too sometimes is really frustrating. That's kind of a given though. The next question is, does anyone else in your family have Tourette syndrome? And the answer is yes. I do have an older cousin who has Tourette syndrome. I'm not super close with him, but I do believe his tics were pretty bad, and yeah, so it is in my family. Over the years, me and my cousin have bonded over us being the two with Tourette syndrome, and it's kind of nice to have someone older who's been through it and who gets it. The next question is, do you experience pain from tics? And I basically just said this, yes I do. I'll have all sorts of tics that sometimes leave me with cuts on my ankles, with bruises, with like pulled muscles, anything like that. And it's really frustrating because painful tics, it's like you're hurting yourself without intentionally meaning to hurt yourself, and you just have to keep doing it because the urge doesn't satisfy, and it's just not good and it really hurts. And that's, again, probably my least favorite thing. The next question is, what is your least favorite tic? And it's a tough one. I would honestly say it is probably my back tics because they're so prominent and it's my most common tic, and it really leaves me winded for breath, hurting my back, like it just not good. And I know it's like not the worst tic per se, but it happens to me so much that I would say it's my least favorite. I do it constantly every single day. And now that I'm talking about it, I'm doing it. But like last night, for example, I was up until 5 a.m. just doing this back tic in my bed, and I couldn't stop, and that's probably why it's my least favorite. It's just so bothersome. The next question is, what is your favorite tic? And I've never thought about this because as much as I want to advocate and raise awareness and be positive, I'm not always the most positive surrounding my Tourette syndrome diagnosis and my tics. My favorite tic, I guess it would probably be my knocking tic that I've mentioned in previous videos because it's kind of funny. I guess you gotta find humor in it. If you want to learn more about my knocking tic, I'll link a video up here where I explain it, but it's basically from Frozen and it stuck with me for years and it's kind of funny, so I guess that's my favorite. And the final question is, one thing you want people to take away from this video and one thing you want people to know about Tourette syndrome. And again, I'm just going to reiterate it. Tourette's is so much more than just a swearing disorder. It's so much more than just a vulgar disorder. There are comorbid disorders that come along with it, which means other disorders that just basically go along with Tourette syndrome. And so I also have OCD, really bad anxiety, depression, impulse controls, all sorts of stuff like that. And I don't think people really realize that there's more to Tourette's than just swearing, because the media has made it to be that way. And I know I'm really passionate about this and I talk about it a lot, but I really want you guys to know that because I just want people out there to realize what it is, and I want to educate people, because when I was younger and looking up Tourette syndrome and trying to find information about it, I found so much that was just not true, and it really tainted my view of my own disorder, and it really frustrated me. And I just really want the whole stigma to break, and I want you guys to help me with that. And speaking of, if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be really awesome, because my goal is to raise awareness and to break the stigma. And with your help, by clicking that subscribe button, you're able to learn more from my videos, as well as just spread the word. If you want to share this video, go for it. Like, I want to get the word out there. I would love it if you would also give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below saying hi, telling me what you want to see in future videos, or just talking to me. Leave a comment saying what your tics are or whatever you want, because I love hearing from you guys and we need to work together to break the stigma. So that is the end of my video. Happy Tourette Syndrome Awareness Month, and I really hope you guys enjoyed my video, and stay tuned to my channel for more videos in the future. Oh, and also, if you haven't already watched my video, 20 Things You May or May Not Have Known About Tourette Syndrome, I would highly encourage you to watch it, because I guarantee you'll learn something in that video, and that's my goal. So click the link up there. I'm gonna link it somewhere and watch it. Thank you. Bye.